Hi everyone, my name is Rain Augustine with NewsNOW from Fox. Right now I'm joined with the Senior Director for Volunteers of America, David Birch. David, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for those who are not familiar, could you give us a brief introduction of what the Volunteer for America organization is and what you do in the community?
Sure. So Volunteers of America is one of the oldest and largest human service providers in the United States. We were founded in 1896. We serve approximately 1.5 million people in 46 states around the country. We serve a variety of populations in need, including people experiencing homelessness, frail elderly people, low-income family and children, people experiencing substance abuse issues, so a wide variety of different groups of people. We are also a major affordable housing provider in the US with about 500 properties around the country, as well as a major provider of affordable senior care and nursing care.
A lot of really good work in the community. So as we were saying earlier, a lot of us have a spirit of service. So helping our neighbors is really important to us this holiday, but it's a little bit more difficult to do this year. Not impossible, just a little bit more difficult.
Mhm.
So what certain needs are you seeing in the community, specifically this season?
Sure. So obviously our programs, just like every place else, are affected by the demands of social distancing. And so we're not able to bring in people to our programs like we have been in the past. But obviously because of COVID-19, the needs of the people that we serve have only increased over the past 8 months, whether it's, people have lost jobs, people, are at risk of homelessness or just hunger, or a wide variety of different economic and social issues that have arisen because of the pandemic. So we're still, we have seen an increased need for our hunger programs in a lot of areas of the country, our needs for affordable housing. Our senior care facilities obviously have been especially hard hit just because that population has been especially vulnerable to COVID. So, but at the same time, the ability of volunteers to come in has been restricted. So, a lot of the work done by volunteers has really evolved to be virtual, and in a lot of really entrepreneurial ways. For instance, in our senior programs, because people can't come in, but the seniors still have the same need for social interaction. What we've been doing is setting up a lot of Zoom calls for our elderly residents to help them stay connected with their communities, stay connected with their families, and really depend on volunteers to help facilitate a lot of that. Another example out of our Denver affiliate is a local volunteer really took upon himself to help fulfill the need for socks and other necessities for homeless veterans. So during the COVID period, he has created a program called Socks for Vets, where he got a sewing machine and learned to sew, and now he's making socks and masks for the veterans in Volunteers of America homeless shelters. So, and he's gotten his neighbors and others to join in that program. So that was a way to really make a difference in the lives of people in need, but do so virtually without actually coming into one of our programs.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, you mentioned the elderly, you mentioned the homeless population. Are there
Mhm.
certain populations that are in more need than others this year?
Sure. So, I mean, obviously, low-income families, low-income individuals, because they may not have the same employment opportunities now, have been especially hard hit. So, the programs that we have in place for those groups have been especially needed during this period. For instance, in Seattle, Seattle and Western Washington in general, we have a food bank program that we've had for years, but the demand for that service has just gone up exponentially during the COVID era. So And it is transitioned because of social distancing to a drive-through sort of food bank. And we've really depended on volunteers from the local community, not only to provide the increased donations to that program, but also to help staff the drive-through food bank to help people coming through get the supplies that they need.
Now, service-based initiatives are often talked about, but I think it's really important for people to know exactly why helping your neighbor and fulfilling needs in the community are so important. So could you explain the significance of public service?
Sure. So public service really helps us to expand the help that we're able to provide to people in the community. I mean, most of our programs are actually staffed by paid staff, people who work for Volunteers America full time. Yeah, and those include people, social workers, people with healthcare backgrounds, a variety of different backgrounds serving needs of the people that we serve. But volunteers really make the difference to connect those programs to the local communities, to be advocates for the people that we serve, to make sure their needs are being fully addressed, and to provide a kind of an extra level of service above and beyond what our staff members can provide. Whether it's doing the actual work within the programs, or just providing a level of emotional support and connection to community, which is very important to a lot of the people that we serve. Volunteers are a very important aspect of that.
Now, you mentioned how COVID-19 changes the way that Volunteers of America operates in terms of the social
Mhm,
distancing, and
mhm.
how now there is an increase in virtual volunteer opportunities. So, for someone that just wants more information or wants to get involved, what's some advice that you can offer?
So for us specifically, the easiest way to find out about opportunities in your community would be just to go to our website, voa.org/volunteer, and see what opportunities are available in your community, or just maintain, reach out to a local program, to a local Volunteers America affiliate, or any program in your community, and just open up a line of communication, find out what they need from you at this time. Sometimes they are looking for virtual volunteers. Sometimes because of the reality of the current situation, they're just not able to take volunteers right now. So there may be other ways you can support those programs, through donations, through both monetary, as well as like the Socks for Vets program. You just never know. It really is an opportunity for people to be entrepreneurial, to be creative. But I would encourage you to maintain that live communications with the people in the front lines, just to make sure that you're fulfilling the needs that they have at that moment.